Welcome back. You've joined a Hog Auckland chapter ride as we're starting our engines at the BP Service Centre at Dairy Flat on the Auckland's North Shore. We're about to head off on a ride heading up north. I think we're going to be finishing up at Paparoa, but before we do, we're going to be travelling on the motorway, and the point of this week's video is going to be demonstrating again, I've done it before, the use of the TPX Radar Detector, which many of us have. That's the thing that's perched on the left hand side of my T-bars there, and there was an activation soon after we got on the motorway, so you'll be able to see how that looks in real time. So let's get this ride underway. We're starting to head off now. Now this ride itself, it's a Sunday morning. There's about 14 or 15 bikes, 2 of them with pillions. It's quite cold by Auckland standards. It's around about 8 degrees Celsius. A little bit chilly. Nothing too terrible, but the day looks fine and sunny. Well, we were soon to get a wake-up call with that. But anyway, here we are, we're getting on the motorway. This feeder here takes us straight out onto State Highway 1, 2-lane main highway, heading up towards, or heading north. First thing we do, as usual, is get ourselves up to motorway speed so we can merge safely with the traffic, and then we follow the leader. Road captain will typically head for the right hand side lane, fast lane, and we'll all slot in behind in staggered formation, eventually catching up, riding together, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now as we're travelling along here, at around about this point I started getting some audio alerts and then some visual alerts as well. The first ones were coming through. So on my helmet I've got a repetitive alarm bell kind of ringing, and also a visual alert on my handlebars. Now it's the KA band that's been detected, which is typically used by the stalker radar units used by the highway patrol. It's a pretty solid signal, so something's locked onto us, and it's either following behind, which I can't see anything behind me, so it's most likely then somewhere up ahead. As you can see, it's a lot of long empty road, nothing to be seen, but the signal is undeniable. It's definitely got a solid lock happening somewhere here, so I'm just keeping my eyes peeled and sticking to the speed limit, as you always should, of course. And there we have it, hiding in plain sight just beyond one of the signs to the side of the motorway, a highway patrol vehicle, in fact one that we'd seen a little bit earlier on the motorway as we were on our way to the meeting point. So not quite sure what was special about this day, but there was a number of highway patrol vehicles out and about, and it looks like maybe there was a concerted campaign on this particular day to just try and tidy up the roads and break down unruly behaviour. Anyway, good luck to them. Now coming back around to the point of the video, at what point might you decide that you also want to have a radar detector on your bike, and it's difficult to do? Well, it's not so bad if you know some people like I do who were able to help me set the thing up. That was awesome. But mostly it's around trying to avoid conversations like you might sometimes have with this guy, and that can be the very big influencer on whether or not you decide you're going to go ahead and get your own radar detector. In my own case, or my own example, it was straight after or soon after a conversation like the one that was as pictured before, where I decided, you know what, this was just becoming pedantic. It was a fairly minor infraction, but resulted in a ticket, and I didn't think it was really fair play at all. So at that point I started to look for alternatives and realised, well, there is technology there, I'm going to use it. Haven't regretted it since. It's been very, very useful for me. Maybe it'll be useful for you too. Anyway, this ride is probably going to appear in a further video because, like I said, the day looks fantastic now, but it does turn into, within about 5 minutes of this, riding through rain and very heavy fog, and we might just show a bit of that later on. Anyway, for now we're going to wrap it up. Take care out there, ride safe, have fun. See you next week.